with the Supermoto wheels, I think this thing just kind of screams. It brings out the worst in people, I think. It really does, because the Supermoto fun is quite insane on this thing. It makes you want to wheelie all the time, going over bumps. It's just got a lot of streetable power. And I think that's what I like about the XR650 on the street, is that if you ride this thing on the street, it feels like a very good dual sport. Let me show you how to start this bike. And by the way, this thing just makes tons of so this is how you stop it. All right, so I'm going to put it on no lights. And to start this bike, even when it's cold, you have a decompression lever over there. So you have a kickstart, and you have to find top dead center and then just kick it. Now, I am not that good at kickstarting, but and there we go. And it would start on first kick. This bike does start on first kick, but the problem is I am not that good at starting it. So let's go for a ride and see how she handles around some twisties. I think one of the cool things about this bike is that you can ride around just like parking lots, and you can have a lot of fun. Another thing that you might want to consider is that your new hobby is going into garages and setting off car alarms. As these roads get a little bit tighter, this is where this bike really shines. But I love the ability of going into these corners and just kind of squirting out. You don't have to worry too much about crazy power, but it makes a lot of power that you can like slide it around, but I don't do that. This bike is fun. It's like one of these bikes that you can get very cheap. You know, you can get a stock one for about probably $3,500 to $4,000 these days. But as this bike sits, it's a $5,000 to $6,000 bicycle, or motorcycle, sorry. Because you can get a CRF 450 that's smaller, but then you'd have to be changing the oil and adjusting the valves so much. The good thing about this bike is its reliability. You know, one of the things I can't stand are long straightaways like this on this bike. It just seems so long, and this bike just seems so much better for corners. Slow speed corners, not high speed ones. When you're looking at high speed, you're doing like sweepers, this is not the bike for it. Another super cool thing is that I'm basically sitting on a perch on this bike, and it's so tall that I can see over cars. So if you're dual sporting and there's some sort of like car related street riding, it is kind of nice. What you doing, dude? This thing is lighter than the Ninja 250R, so it's kind of insane by 100-something pounds. But of course, you have a whole lot more power from a 650 than you would in a 250. No, that's obvious, right? It was nice that you let me in. So this is the type of roads that this bike likes. Twisty, some elevation. We had some major storms the other day, so it really feels like you can go into these corners really hard. God damn, this bike is just pure fun. In Supermoto trim, this thing just screams. But it's also the type of bike that people get very upset when they see you like going by. The bike actually seems like it's going faster than it is. It's one of these bikes that people get very upset because it looks like it's a dirt bike that shouldn't be on the road. Supermoto supermoto guys, they're known as to be kind of like hooligans. There's no point of getting a supermoto that you're not going to be doing wheelies and stoppies and just kind of tearing up curves. Front wheel up once on this ride. God damn, this bike is just so easy to like ride well, or ride and have fun. Look at that, front wheel came off. Damn. Man, this bike is just so fun. Oh, I forgot that people don't like to do this. God damn, man, this bike is just pure fun and supermoto trip. I forget, there's a lot of clearance. Jesus, this bike is quick. I think people get into this because they want to slide around corners. Not me. I think I am fine not sliding around corners. Oh, look at that. There's some debris here. Yeah, I think I'm fine just doing regular riding. There's a supermoto. I don't know if power is it brings that front end up, you know, when you gas it up, it does feel like it's, god damn, this thing is so quick. Because every single bike that I've seen that's been a XR650R has been street legal. People, it's not like people are just riding these on the street in supermoto form all the time. Before, people just wanted to get to the trails, and it's a lot easier to get to trails if you can ride there, or park your car and then just ride around on some nice trails and connect it via the highway or the roads. That's the beauty of this bike. There we go. Oh man, the kick starting, man, out of there. Whoa, I slipped like crazy there. Just because this one is like overly powerful for what it is, it's way too powerful. I feel like you see people wheeling. God damn, this bike is fun. See, if there wasn't so many cars, I could go through these corners better, but this bike actually loves these sort of roads that are a little bit rougher. I think people do not like this bike. They don't like this bike, or they don't like me. Jesus, this bike is just pure fun. You know, I went from decent bikes to a very boring bike like the NC700 to this. So it's kind of crazy that I went from probably one of the most boring motors by Honda, well, what is that, a cop car over there? Oh no, it's not. Jesus, that's frightening. Oh, yeah. Oh man. Oh man, this bike is just so incredibly fun. This has been the XR650R review, and this is such a fantastic bike. I can't believe I'm riding an historic bike. You know, one of the downsides with this bike is that when you're in town and you have to ride it slow, it is almost unbearable. Very angry at like people going slow when I'm riding this bike, because I want them to at least go a little bit faster. But there's like some people that like going under the speed limit, and they make your life a living hell. Goddamn. Well guys, that is the XR650R. I hope you enjoyed this review. It's a great bike. It is definitely worth getting in 2020. If you can get one of these and hold on to it, I think the value is just going to be skyrocketing. These bikes are really difficult to find these days. There's not that many, and the people that do own them, they tend to hold on to them. They really love these things, and they're reliable. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Goodbye, my love.
Bye.